So this is where the big boys play. Check the adjective. Play. We're not here to play. We're here to talk about wrestling.
Yes, we are.
And this is the 3D Wrestling Podcast. I'm your forever WWE champion. You call me DJ.
And I'm not your forever WWE champion. I'm Derek.
Man, Derek, listen. It's Rumble season.
It is Rumble season.
It is Rumble season. You know what that means. We're on the highway. Not to hell. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
We're on the road to WrestleMania, and this is an exciting one.
Exciting one. Philly. WrestleMania 40.
WrestleMania 40. 40 years of WrestleMania.
Crazy. Crazy. We got a big announcement today. Let's start there. Big announcement.
I was just about to say.
With WWE 2K24.
Yes.
Man. Special guest referee matches coming back.
Casket matches coming back.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Gauntlet. All that. Yeah. We're back 40 years of WrestleMania. Bro, I'm excited.
Does that count to the meter?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, we're at 6 already. Who knows how many years we're going to get in?
Does that count?
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just for good measure. Yee. But man, before we start talking about the Rumble, let's talk about what's going on in AEW, man.
Yeah, before we get to the Rumble stuff, AEW's been pretty good this week. I think they've hit one of their highest ratings in some time this past week.
Opposite. I think it was like 779.
I thought Dynamite, they were in the 800K range, and Hook and Joe got their highest ratings in a while.
I don't think so.
I might have to fact check that, but
Who cares about ratings? WB doesn't care about ratings.
They clearly don't. They love it.
They don't care about ratings. I don't care about ratings.
But from what I saw, I didn't watch all of Dynamite, but I did catch the Joe and Hook match, and it was a hell of a match to me.
Under 10 minutes, right? But
yeah.
It told a very good story.
It told a very good story. It actually reminded me a little bit of the match that Jeff Hardy and Undertaker had in 2002, I believe it was, when Jeff faced for Undertaker's WWE Championship. It gave the vibe of the respected veteran fighting that newer star trying to cement himself. And although he didn't win, he didn't become champion, you still saw that he could hold his own amongst somebody like Samoa Joe, because beating Samoa Joe is not easy.
Not easy.
Not
was
easy
that the ladder match?
That was the ladder match.
Okay, yeah.
That was the ladder match. Except in that one, Undertaker showed respect. Despite being a heel, he showed respect to Jeff Hardy and raised his hand. This time Joe didn't do it. He just beat the shit out of Hook. In front of his dad.
Oh, man. Do you think this has made Hook a bigger star? Has it helped him?
That's the thing with AEW. They do all of these start and stop pushes that I can't really sit here and say this is going to do anything for Hook. I think what's going to be really telling is what happens next Wednesday, what happens the week after that, what they do with him now, because this is clearly a one and done. Joe's going to move on to face Hangman or Swerve, maybe both. We could figure that out. We could talk about that another time. But what's going to happen with Hook? Because he's the forever FTW champion, and we have to see where does this go from here. Are we just not going to see him anymore? Is he going to go back to fucking Rampage or Collision or wherever and just do whatever, just keep doing the whole Hook thing where he comes out, wrestles for 2 seconds and then goes to the back? Or is this going to lead to something a little bit more substantial, a little more significant? I'm interested to see that. Tony Khan doesn't have the best track record of following up on big pushes. We've seen it time and time again. Somebody has one big match and falls right back to where they were. But I'm interested to see where it goes. What do you think?
Same. Where is this going to lead to? Will this lead to Hook getting a bigger push somewhere? I don't know. A part of me kind of wants to see this Hook versus Eddie Kingston match. Something's dragging me to it.
Never thought of that. Love that idea. I actually would love that idea. I think if anybody could get something good out of Hook, I think it's Eddie Kingston.
I think just their styles kind of line up. That's where I would like to go with this. But once again, we will see. A lot of outrage about this though, right?
Oh yeah. Who the fuck is Hook? Even?
Who
the fuck is Hook even?
Right. But this raised the concern about the AEW ranking system.
Yes.
Now, Hook 28-1, but were those wins significant enough to be put it up to the number one contender?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But in light of that, Tony Khan has said that he's bringing back the AEW ranking system.
And
how do we feel about it?
Before I even get into that, did you hear how it disappeared in the first place?
Apparently,
Whose idea it was?
It was CM Punk's idea, but now I feel like that could be true. But at the same time, I feel like we're just gonna start pointing blame at people who are not here.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's for the best. I like the idea of a ranking system. I think it sounds good on paper. It makes AEW feel like more of a legitimate sport. It makes it feel like there's a little bit more reasoning why matches happen. But as we know and love about pro wrestling, it is a story-based medium, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to that, we don't always need somebody to wrestle 8 matches in a row and win them all before they fight for a title. Sometimes we just see somebody and immediately, I want that person to be champion, or I at least want that person in title contention. Sometimes people just have the name or they just have the aura that gets them there, and I don't need to see them wrestle all these matches because if anything, it'll maybe water them down. Example.
Are we going to have the same example? Because I have an example.
I don't know. I actually have no idea if we're going to have the same example, but this even goes into more recent news that has come out in the wrestling world. The current, I guess, and soon-to-be former ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kazuchika Okada, is leaving New Japan. Something like this is unheard of. The only comparison I could think of is if someone like a John Cena or Roman Reigns left WWE to go to another promotion.
I would say, I guess the biggest thing you can compare it to would be Hogan going to WCW.
Exactly. It's that significant of a loss. So, and I do think Okada is going to end up in AEW, but if or when he does, I don't need to see him doing an Adam Copeland open challenge every week on Collision to justify him getting a championship match. He doesn't need to get a championship match on his first day, but he has the name that immediately right out the gate, Okada fighting for the AEW championship sounds like big business to me, and I don't need much justification beyond that.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
How long before we look at Okada in AEW and we're like,
He's just another guy?
why choose here?
4 months.
If Okada doesn't get a title shot in the first 4 months, how do we feel?
I don't feel bad about it. It just depends on what he's doing. I don't need him to be champion right out the gate, but he has to be doing something of significance. I know a lot of people have been upset about the way AEW's been treating someone like a Jay White. How long was it before even he got a shot at the AEW championship? And it was good. It was a good match, but it was one and done. Showed up, lost to a one-legged man, and then it was one leg, right?
Yeah.
It was a one-legged man, never sniffed the championship again.
Well, not that he didn't sniff a championship again, because he's currently the ROH Trios champion.
Yeah.
Is that a demotion? How do you feel about that?
It's definitely a demotion.
I don't know, man.
You're 1/3 of a champion on a brand that no one's watching.
The
Yes.
Athena show.
Mm-hmm.
I like to call it the Athena show.
The Athena show, because she's the best thing going. Even your champion isn't there.
Not there.
Is not there.
He's actually holding the title for the company that owns ROH, and he's fighting there and not.
And he's
with
even
ROH.
barely holding that title. He's juggling that belt with 2 other titles because he's focused on.
I don't know, man. My take on Okada, I know we got a little off track, but my take on Okada is go to WWE. We saw what Triple H did with Shinsuke when he first got there. Triple H head of creative right now, and Okada being this guy who's said, I want to wrestle at WrestleMania. Who I don't think you have a bigger chance to be a bigger star anywhere than going to WWE. That's just my take. We'll see, because you got Will Ospreay there. You can run back a couple classics. Kenny, Jay White, Will Ospreay. But then it'll just be New Japan matches again.
Something that I actually didn't know is, I apologize for not knowing her name, but apparently Okada's wife is like a huge celebrity in Japan. She's more famous than he is.
Yes.
And there was like a big concern when he announced that he was leaving New Japan, that apparently she may be leaving Japan and coming to America if that's what Okada would want to do. So I can see there being a lot more reasoning for Okada to want to stay, and obviously Tony Khan is going to want to accommodate that.
So the report is that Tony Khan's willing to sign Okada no matter where he lives.
And I don't like that. I don't.
Is Okada going to be a special attraction? Now, I feel like week to week, if I see Okada week to week, he might start losing some aura.
I don't need him week to week. I don't need him on the show every week. That I agree. I would have him on at the best comparison going right now, I'd say, CM Punk schedule. Okay. Every time he shows up, make it a big deal.
Okay.
But I would still have him there regularly. He's still pretty young. What's he, like 36? He still can go.
That's crazy, bro. He's only 36.
And he's in the prime of his career. So he still has that time. I wouldn't oversaturate him on television. I would still try and like spread him out a little bit, like week to week when it comes to him being on TV. But I think he should go to WWE. To your point. But then again, we both thought the Elite should have went to WWE. Kenny and the Bucks.
Speaking of the Bucks, man, new personas. They're back. They're putting EVPs in their names. Call them by their God-given names. How do you like this new persona going on?
Nicholas and Matthew Jackson.
I mean, I don't know where this is going. Are we kind of getting a proper heel run? Obviously, it's a new direction. What do you think so far?
So far, I have a love-hate relationship with where it's going. I do like that Nicholas and Matthew, are embracing the heel persona of the EVPs within the company.
Okay.
The
channeling their inner Vince McMahon.
Exactly. Even like their creepy mustaches and whatnot. They're really embracing the role of the wrestling bookers. And I like that as a heel gimmick. And I don't hate the idea of them retiring Sting, especially because this seems to be something that Sting wants. Would it have been my choice? No. But then again, my choice would have likely been Sting wrestling a singles match, and that seemed to be like out of the question for him.
Against Jeff Hardy, so we can run back. Since TNA's returning, like, we might as well just run that match back. Just have a proper match now. But hey, that's just me.
But apparently that was never on the table. Sting just absolutely did not want to wrestle a singles match at all. So if it had to be against a tag team, I can't think of anybody else it should be against. The only thing, and it seems to be leading this way anyway, so I'm fine with it. I would make it for the tag team championships. I would find a way to take the championships off of Ricky Starks. I'm sorry, I love you, Ricky. I would take the championships off of him and Big Bill, put them on the Bucks, and then go full speed ahead into...
Actually, I think they have a title match. I think Sting and Darby have a title match against Ricky and Bill.
Ricky and Big Bill?
And I think leading to Revolution, it's going to be them holding the tag titles and then the Bucks taking it off of them. However, I do have some future booking for that, because one or two things you can do here. Ultimate, hey, good guy send off. Thanks for your last match. Woo! Sting forever. Or you kind of put Darby Allin.
How so?
You turn.
Really?
On Sting.
One thing I will say to keep in mind with that, I don't hate the idea at all. Darby Allin is going to climb Mount Everest at some point this year.
Yeah, he might die, so fuck it.
He might fucking die. He literally might fucking die.
People don't make it up Mount Everest. Like, I'm not saying that to
There's
be like
dead bodies on Mount Everest. He can very easily just die.
They're landmarks. So it's not like
I don't know if this is his last match, by the way. I don't know if this is like his send-off before he goes to do that. All I know is it's happening this year. Who knows? This may be both of their last matches.
Yeah, it might be, but I'm saying I think you give the final rub to Darby, and that would be a proper send off for Sting, maybe.
I don't hate that. See, if I had it my way, I would have had Sting turn heel on Darby.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Joker Sting? Like
Yeah,
just
I would have had him
full-blown-
turn on Darby last match, Sting versus Darby. That's how I would have done it. Darby start turning on Sting. I don't hate that idea. It would make sense even.
But then, see,
That's
what
how they
I-
get the
what I
title on the
like-
Bucks.
I like that, but also, like Darby's such a likable
Beloved.
character that like him selling out to the EVPs is something you can also run.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like
It's a good twist, but people love Darby Allin.
yeah, like
And it may not be the best idea to give up a big over baby face like that, especially when you
probably your biggest baby face.
yeah
'Cause
they're not they don't have the
there's
best-
no baby faces.
they don't really have the best baby face.
You
to
got
choose
Orange
from.
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy is very popular. People love Orange
I love
Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy.
I like Orange Cassidy.
Shout out Jersey.
But I don't see him at that at like the level of a Darby Allin could go to. I don't see him going to being a real contender for Joe. I see someone like a Darby Allin or a Hangman Page being like a babyface that could go after him
Hangman Page is
in that regard. But I don't see that. No.
Maybe not. I don't know, but yeah. We're gonna
But
keep it going.
all in all, I'm liking what the Young Bucks is doing right now. Generally, do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you have another team that you wish was facing Sting and Darby?
I think in order to keep this person, because I feel like they will be leaving soon, especially if they drop the title, I think you put the title match on that Revolution instead of the Bucks. I feel like what you could have did is returning Bucks at the end of a match between Ricky and Big Bill. Even if you have Sting and Darby win, the Bucks invoke this EVP power, right? We're getting previews of what they're doing. Invoke this EVP powers and super kick Sting on his way out. Give me the titles. Put him on the Bucks. Sting walks out free. He's done. Darby, we don't see Darby first in time because he's going to climb a mountain. I think that's another way we could have went.
Okay.
I know it's like kind of stupid to have like 2 title changes back to back, but I think it's perfect way to get heel heat on the Bucks. I think it's a good send off for Sting, and also to have Ricky be like that last match.
That would be a big get for Ricky
That's
Starks.
a big get. However, and we'll talk about it because 2024 should be interesting. I think Ricky's.
We could get into that if you want. I think he's out the door.
Halfway out the door already.
Every time I see a picture of Ricky Starks, he's hanging out with somebody at the WWE roster. I think he's out the door. And honestly, I'm happy for him to be out the door. Love Ricky Starks. He needs to be in WWE.
Oh man,
That's where he belongs.
He has main roster aura, but I think he can run NXT to like. I can just see it right now, like something between him and Trick would just be. Give me the money. That's money right there. That's money right there. I'm just saying.
You're not wrong.
I'm just saying. Even if it's for a little.
Especially, I'm not sure what his contract status is. I don't know when he would be even eligible to leave, but they're going to be on the CW at some point. That'd be a good face of the company when they go there. I don't hate it.
I'm just saying.
I do not hate it.
Before we leave AEW, right, we're talking about contracts. And, I mean, you were there for his last match. And his odds oddly boosted to show up in the Royal Rumble. We've been saying it for a minute. MJF definitely re-signed with AEW.
I have no doubt in my mind he's
Okay.
still in AEW.
What if?
What if?
Let's talk about it. What if?
What
It's
if?
Rumble season. This is a time for what ifs. What if MJF shows up? Is this a big hit for AEW?
It's most definitely a big hit. It's probably not the biggest hit. I think the AEW has already suffered their worst hits that they could possibly take, but it's certainly not good. It's like getting kicked in the balls a third time. Maybe it doesn't hurt as much as the first, but it still fucking hurts. I would see this as honestly an opportunity to tell a really good story if he were to show up, because we have, and we could get to it when we get to our Rumble predictions, but we have a lot of names in the hat right now of who could be the winner of the Royal Rumble. I know a lot of people are thinking about a certain Hollywood celebrity winning and taking on Roman Reigns. Our producer's smiling. Oh, we mentioned him. But
nobody needs a pet rock.
but with that, it could make sense to give Cody a different story to take on at WrestleMania. Maybe a demon or a devil, perhaps, from his past coming in and stopping him like he did before. In AEW, stopping him from being world champion, coming to WWE and stopping him from being world champion, and having that feud go on to WrestleMania. Just thinking about it right now, I love that story, but I would rather the simpler route of Cody just going on to WrestleMania, facing Roman Reigns, finishing his story, and MJF handling the business that he already has in AEW.
Can I ask you a question?
Please do.
What's the greatest trick the devil ever pulled? What's the greatest trick the devil's ever pulled?
Convincing us that his ankle's broken.
No, that ankle was shattered, buddy. That ankle was fucked. And still is. But it's convincing you that he didn't exist. I'm just saying. CM Punk said that line. You're saying that Cody could exercise some demons? I don't know. It sounds like that might be something. His Rumble odds did jump of him showing up.
Okay.
It's very odd.
Very odd.
Very odd. That normally doesn't happen unless somebody knows something.
It's interesting.
Season. That was our segment called What If. So
I still think there's too much working against it. He's very hurt anyway, right?
He is very hurt.
I don't know. Like you said, greatest chick that were bold.
Make me think he didn't exist. Speaking of what ifs, right? Rumblings about a certain person who likes Monet, I would say. There's some rumblings that she might be signed to AEW already, but she hasn't showed up yet.
No.
So, what if Mercedes Moné / Sasha Banks shows up at the Rumble?
I am counting on her showing up.
Counting on it.
First Rumble prediction of this episode. I am predicting Sasha Banks returns to WWE.
Can we get the fire? Can we get the flames?
Yes.
Can we get the fire and the flames? That's a hot take.
I think Sasha Banks, Mercedes. I don't think she's going to be Mercedes Moné in WWE, by the way. She has a name already established. I think she's going to be Sasha Banks. I think she's going to return in the Rumble. I don't know if I should even just tack on another prediction. This one isn't hot at all. Naomi is going to return to WWE.
Yeah,
I think
that one's set.
Everybody thinks it's going to happen, but I think they're both going to return in the Rumble.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with Naomi coming back. I don't think Sasha's returning.
Okay.
I've been saying it. Hot take, cold take, medium take, warm take. I don't know. Medium well. Whatever you want to say. I don't think she's returning.
Okay.
I don't think she's returning.
This is just aside, just out of my own curiosity, do you think she's going to AEW?
I 100% do think she's going to AEW.
Okay.
Do I think it's smart for her to go to AEW? I don't know.
I think she could be a big fish in a small pond in AEW.
Yeah, she could. But I don't know. There's something about AEW where I feel like she doesn't fit that mold.
I get what you're saying.
And it's not because she's a black woman. Swole Tojo. But she just doesn't fit.
How many other black women on the AEW roster?
See? And now we're starting to think about it. Who's sitting at the top? Tony Storm. Who's sitting before her? Sarai. Who's in before her? Tony Storm. Who's in before her?
I'm so sorry. Who's the TBS champion? Is it still Chris
Jim
Statlander?
No. It is Julia Hart.
Julia Hart. Oh yeah, Jade's gone.
Jay's gone.
Jade's gone.
You know, so
Yeah, it's not the best place.
well, maybe it's not the best place, right? I don't know. So I think she's going to AEW. Yeah, but I do agree that what you said, that she would be a big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. And it's weird because you would think someone like maybe it's the health concerns that maybe cause this issue, but you would think someone like a Saraya would be a big fish in a small pond. But like a lot of other big names, she's kind of just another person on the AEW roster. They do a really good job of taking these blockbuster names in wrestling and kind of just turning them to another person on the roster. The latest case of that, I'd say, is even Adam Copeland.
I was about to say it.
Just another guy. It's cool to see him.
Now we're doing the Adam Copeland Open Challenge.
Yeah.
Against Griff Garrison.
I'm sure it's fun for him. I'm sure it's fun for the young guys to get the face, like, I'm sure, like, one of their favorite wrestlers or whatever.
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Who the fuck is Hook?
Who knows? But let's get into some Rumble talk, since we already started talking about it. We talked about some special appearances. Man, any returning people?
Any returning people?
And I can start off by the one that everybody knows.
Okay.
The worst kept secret. I think Andrade will make his return.
Of course, yeah.
He will be in the
I
Rumble.
somehow even forgot that, yeah, Andrade is definitely going to be in the Rumble. I have no doubt in my mind. I'd be shocked. The only reason why I think he wouldn't be in the Rumble is just because everybody thinks he is and they might bring him like the night after or something. Just to try and like swerve people. But I do think he is most definitely going to.
Yeah.
Who else?
That's another one at it. Keep going. Man.
I know a lot of people have kind of been jumping back and forth with Brock Lesnar. I actually don't think he will be in the Rumble.
I think he will be in the Rumble.
Okay.
I think he will be in the Rumble. And I think he gets eliminated by Gunther.
See, I think they build that later. It would make sense. It really would. But I think they build that later. I don't think they would want to put too much onto one.
That's some future booking.
Yeah, well, we can get to that
We'll talk about that.
another time.
Man, who else, man? I'm hearing rumbles, maybe X-Pac.
That'd be cool. He
cool.
could definitely still go. He shows up like indie shows every now and then. He could definitely still go.
Somebody check Bad Bunny's tour dates.
Where he's gonna be at.
He always.
Fuck it, just for fun. Pat McAfee.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, I can see that. I can see
him showing up.
Anybody from NXT that would be like.
This is kind of a lame one because he's kind of like in the middle area, but Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes most definitely.
I think he's definitely gonna get a rub there. Braun?
I've been thinking about Braun. I'm going to say no. As much as I would love for this to say yes, I'm going to say no for Braun Breaker.
How about Baron Corbin? I would love to see Baron Corbin.
I'd love to see Baron Corbin. Honestly, I may put more stock into the idea of Baron Corbin showing up than Braun Breaker. So I may say Baron Corbin, yes.
Any new, like, maybe undisclosed signings that, like, they might just, like, pop up? Like, will we be surprised?
I don't think we're going to have that many surprises. I feel like people are maybe getting a little too ahead of themselves and they're anticipating a little too much fun this Royal Rumble, and I don't think...
I think people do that every year.
They do that every year, but I don't think anytime WWE ever likes to stack too much on top of one show, because I think, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, they like to spread it out. Somebody who I don't think is going to be in the Rumble because it may be a little too much. You know what? Fuck it. I do think they're going to be in the Rumble, but I still think it may be a little too much. And I'm curious if you think they're going to be returning as well. Sheamus.
I can see that. I have a sleeper, and it kind of ties into this shirt, into the person. It was Bray's last match. I think we see a returning Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas.
I see a returning Bo Dallas.
I hate that he never became anything big. I thought Bo Dallas was...
Not gonna lie, he shows up, might shed a tear.
Yeah, that'll definitely be like an emotional entrant.
Might shed a tear.
It may set the course of like a whole Hall of Fame thing. Maybe he may be inducting his brother and all of that. Just getting familiarized with the WWE audience. I can see that happening.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
Wouldn't it be kind of shady to see him get eliminated?
Yeah. But also like just the moment of.
You got to give it to somebody that the crowd hates. Like,
what if Bo just
like
eliminates
Jinder.
like LA Knight? Yeah.
That'd be good.
LA Knight's probably not in the match.
Yeah, he's probably not in the match at all. Okay.
Yeah. But let's
You know what? We've been dancing around a very big name with this men's rumble specifically. We talked about Mercedes and the women's rumble, but it's time for us to talk about it. I'm just gonna outright ask: does The Rock show up in this rumble?
It depends. Not in the Rumble. It depends where the title match is placed.
Okay.
If the title match is placed at the end of the show, like Roman closed the Royal Rumble last year, right? He closed that show because we got the whole angle.
Yeah.
I can see The Rock coming out at the end and staring him down. I would love that. You know what I would love even more? CM Punk throwing out Cody Rhodes to win the Rumble. CM Punk we already know won Seth. Foregone conclusion.
Yeah.
The Rock comes out. Cody comes out right after The Rock. At the end of the show.
I love that idea. Cody coming out at the end with The Rock, and I would leave it just as that. No words, no nothing.
Nope.
It's easy hooking people in to watch both Raw and SmackDown immediately after. I would tune in to watch Raw and SmackDown immediately after and see what happens. Love that. I have no notes. That's perfect.
I'm just saying. So, before we predict our winners, let's talk about the rest of the card.
Yes.
Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul. Oddly enough, I have Logan Paul retaining.
You consider that odd?
Kind of, because I think where we're going for Mania is going to be the battle of the megastars. Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title, which this is going to be LA Knight's moment. So that's why I say he would do that.
I completely agree. Same exact thought process. I think Logan Paul is going to beat Kevin Owens. Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be the same kind of whack way he's kind of been winning. He has a faceless Logan Paul's friend or bro or whatever. Just some random guy is going to help him beat Kevin Owens. I feel like they haven't been the most imaginative with how Logan Paul cheats to win, but I think it's essentially going to be that. He's going to beat Kevin Owens, and then we're going to go on to LA Knight versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania, and I'm very excited to see the promo battles for that, where that goes. I think that's really going to cement LA Knight as a top guy.
Yeah.
Funny enough, even more than him being in the title contention for Roman's championship, but we'll talk about that more as we get closer to WrestleMania, but we both agree Logan Paul's going to win.
Yeah.
And this is a surprisingly short card. We're immediately going to the
title match,
the Undisputed Championship match, with Roman Reigns versus LA Knight, who we were just talking about, versus Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. Fatal 4-way for Roman's championship match where he does not, in theory, needs to be pinned to lose the title.
In theory. Shout out Austin Theory. Listen, man. I don't even know why we're talking about this. Roman is going to retain.
He's absolutely going to retain. Shout out to Hulk Hogan and his record. Roman may or may not beat.
No. Let's not. Let's not. Let's not even shout out Hulk
All
Hogan.
right, yeah, let me take that.
Actually, let's take that one back.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
Fuck Hulk
Fuck
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
However, I do appreciate what you did for the NWO. Outside of that, fuck you. God, listen, Roman's gonna win. I think it's gonna be a hell of a match. Some might say phenomenal. Who do you see taking the pin here? Because I just feel like, can AJ afford to take the pin? You don't want Randy to pin or get the pin, and you kind of want to keep LA hot.
I think they want to keep LA Knight strong. I do think Randy Orton is the one that's going to take the pin, especially because they seem to have been saving him to finally get attacked by Solo. Solo's gotten AJ. Solo's gotten LA Knight. All three of them got Solo when they triple power bombed him through the table, but Solo has not yet gotten Randy Orton. So I do think Solo's going to interfere. He's going to fix the Randy Orton problem.
Are we gonna get Randy versus Solo at Mania?
I think it's a possibility.
Is Solo the new Legend Killer?
I don't hate that idea. I don't hate Solo being the Legend Killer, but I do think that's where we're going with this. I think Solo is going to Simone spike Randy Orton, or do whatever he's going to do to Randy Orton. I do think that is what's going to lead Roman Reigns to win.
Spike him right in the back. Right in the back. Nah.
Punt kick him while we're at it.
No.
with his
Speaking
bare
of
feet.
Randy Orton, guys, go on TikTok, watch our Randy Orton music video. It's also on Instagram Reels.
Yes.
It's fucking phenomenal. This guy's a fucking genius. All right, he's a genius. All right, he's a creative mastermind.
I try.
All right, this is the king of create. All right, see what I did there? See what I did
Yes,
there?
I do see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what number in the year. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. 17, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, right? No. Yeah, Randy's gonna win. No, sorry. Roman's gonna win.
No, he's not.
Randy's gonna take the pin, you think. And
who do you think takes the pin?
AJ, unfortunately.
AJ.
I just see it happening.
I don't know where he may be going for WrestleMania. We can talk about that more later. I do hear, though, that he is being put essentially on a silver platter for Okada if he were to come to WWE.
Listen,
he is like almost being like just kept on
the
ice for Okada if he were to choose to come to WWE.
Hold the fucking phone right now. If AJ Styles faces Okada at WrestleMania, you hear it here first. I will take, I don't know, 10 shots, some shit.
Please don't.
Listen, no, I'm going to do it. If Okada and AJ Styles, who, by the way, I think is in the best shape in his fucking career.
He looks phenomenal.
He looks phenomenal. If him and Okada have a match at WrestleMania and it's anywhere near their 2014, 2013 match, buddy, this might be the best WrestleMania ever. Even if it's not AJ Styles. If you give me Shinsuke versus Okada, buddy, we're going to a whole new level here.
Yeah, I think the two names being kept on ice for him are AJ Styles and Finn Balor. I think those are the two names being kept on ice for Okada if he were to choose to come in.
Speaking of that, this is a total side note. This year, before this year is over, I want to see AJ, Finn Balor, and Cody Rhodes just have one moment that references the Bullet Club together. That was a side note. I just think it would be a really cool callback.
I was gonna say why not have that in the Rumble, but AJ's fighting. He may not be in the Rumble.
He may not be in the Rumble.
You never know.
Unless though, see that's
Unless
the thing. You got to see where the title is. The match is placed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, in agreement, Roman's winning.
Okay.
Fantasy booking just takes over our life sometimes. Then we get to the women's Royal Rumble.
Yes. And before we get to it, I do want us to not only predict the winner, but the final two people.
Final two?
Yeah, I want us to
Okay.
predict the final 2 people in each Rumble.
I'm
Or if you have like a final 4 booking, you could do that as well. But I really only need like the final 2.
You need the final 2. Okay. Bailey. And oh man, this one's rough. Like the easy choice would be like Bailey and Bianca, but like no, I don't think that's it. I think Bianca's final 4 for sure. Actually, this is also going to go with another thing I'm going to say, but I think I'll give you final 4: Bailey, Bianca, Liv Morgan, Nia Jax.
Ooh.
I love Nia Jax. Just to make that clear.
Okay.
Insert Nia Jax like somewhere in this area, not on my lap. Like in this area. But yeah, that's my final 4 with Bailey coming up as the winner.
Nice.
And she keeps saying she's gonna challenge Rhea. I think she's gonna challenge Io. I think we're gonna get the final split of Damage Control.
Okay.
Actually, can I take somebody out?
Sure.
I'm gonna take Bianca out.
Okay.
Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Yep, that's my final 4.
All right. Nice. Kind of similar to mine. My final 4 for the Women's Rumble is going to be Bailey,
Fair.
Becky Lynch,
Fair.
Bianca Belair,
Mm-hmm.
Sasha Banks.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be the final 4. And I think the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to be... I'm going to go Becky Lynch.
Really?
Yeah. I do think, don't get me wrong, I do think Bailey is going to fight Io Shirai or Io Sky, for the championship. But I do think we're going to take in a longer route. I think we're going to see that take shape more at Elimination Chamber rather than the Royal Rumble.
Oh, maybe they'll have a women's elimination chamber.
Yeah, I think Io, Sky, and the rest of Damage Control, I still think there's the story to be built of them slowly kicking Bailey out and not treating her the best. And I think we still have a ways to go with that. I still think we have a ways to go with that before we see that like take shape. And I don't think it's just clearly. Because where we are right now with Bailey, if she were to win the Royal Rumble, she's just going to go after Rhea. She doesn't really have the significant reason to face Io yet.
I have something for you after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Tony Khan here with Elite Wrestling. I'm proud to announce that our match last week on AEW Dynamite got a 4.95 on Cage Match. They do it by out of 5, right?
Yeah, I think so. No, wait, they might do it out of 10.
Oh, shit.
I think we got a 9 point something. Anyway, that's beyond the point. All right.
We could do something like that.
We could do that.
Yeah. I'm proud to announce our last podcast got 15 views. 2 likes on YouTube. That's up 200% than we got last week.
Oh, God.
You have to look up how much a wig like this would be.
This podcast was brought to you by Tony Khan. Alright, hold up. Record it. No, hey, wait a minute.
Oh, I've been recording this whole time.
Oh, perfect. Oh, you know what? This is what we do. At this moment, literally put a picture of Tony Khan right here. Listen, I like your idea. However, I think the story begins or picks up at Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Who's Bailey's best friend in the world?
I would presume Sasha Banks.
Now, if it's true that she's coming back,
Yeah.
Asuka, Carrie, maybe a returning Dakota Kai, try to eliminate Sasha. Bailey Bailey, knowing that's her best friend, tries to save her from getting eliminated, or doesn't assist in some way.
You cooking up something?
All right.
I like that idea.
Now you're getting the story of Bailey getting her best friend back.
Mm-hmm.
Damage Control looking at her sideways.
Looking at her crazy.
That can lead to, one, a potential tag title reign. Because I feel like the Kabuki Warriors can win the tag titles.
I was like, who are the women's tag team champions? It's
Kaden Carter.
Yeah. Katana.
And then I think you can kind of run back Bailey and Sasha being tag team champions, and Bailey also being a women's champion against Io, beating her at Mania. Where does that leave Sasha at Mania? I can't tell you. You can have a one-on-one match with Asuka, right? You can do something to keep this going. But I think that's...
Who knows? Maybe even like a rematch with Bianca. Because unfortunately, I don't see the clearest path for her right now at
For
WrestleMania.
Bianca, right? It's kind of odd, like...
Because I feel like her clear path previously was against Charlotte.
And that...
And now that Charlotte's out, who knows? So who knows? Maybe even Bianca might win the Rumble. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I think it's out of the realm.
I don't think it's an impossibility. She is Bianca Belair is a big deal. She has
Oh,
to be.
100%. But if she was to win the Rumble, the big match there is her versus Rhea.
I've been wanting that match for years. Her and Rhea at
It's
WrestleMania.
her versus Rhea.
Honestly, though, I know I see it that they're trying to build towards Rhea and Becky, but if Bianca were to win and just cut in line and just say fuck it, I want to fight Rhea, I'd love it.
Oh, what are we talking about?
I would take that.
I know what the fucking big match is for her.
What?
A storm is coming at Royal Rumble. I think we are going to get Jade and Bianca. It's kind of early,
I think it's very early.
but where else better to start? Where else better to start?
That's a big one. I don't hate it, but that's a big one.
Like, where else would you start with Jade? Start something at the Rumble. Who else would Jade fight at?
That is a big one, though. And honestly, I will piggyback that and say I do think Jade is going to be in the Rumble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a hot take.
Yeah.
Not a hot take at all.
It's been a while since she's been on camera. I think she needs to...
But she's been working, dog.
Yeah, she's been training. I think she needs to come in and do something in the Rumble.
So many... See, this is where this starts to get, like... AEW and WWE have the same issue. One is just handling it better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And because WWE's women division is, to me, a little more respected than AEW's by whoever's booking. They have a bunch of stars. They have a lot of stars. Like big name stars.
Mm-hmm.
That it's kind of hard to book all these people.
Yeah. It's to the point where I see a lot of people like campaigning for a mid-card title for the women because they feel like there's not enough to go around. I don't know if that's the best course of action, but it really is. It really goes to show like how much talent they have and how little
there is the
big
fight
time.
for.
Yeah, how little there is to fight for. Perfect.
Like not even the main roster, but you got the NXT roster, who is just continues to keep loading up. And, like, those women there are progressing so much. Like, I'm not gonna lie. A year ago, I wasn't on the Lash Legend train. I am 100% behind her being a big star.
And it's sometimes hard to juggle that because I do occasionally like seeing the main roster women going down there to fight for the NXT Championship. But it's sometimes hard to deal with that because but the Lash Legends, the Jakara Jacksons, the whoever else, the Tiffany Strattons down there, that title is for them.
For them.
It's
For
for
sure.
them to showcase their talents. It's for them to fight for. But there's just so little to fight for when it comes to the main roster that sometimes it makes more sense for them to go down there and compete for it. That's why someone like a Charlotte will go down there and fight for the NXT Championship, or like a Becky Lynch.
I
Because
mean, you mentioned the name. I think Tiffany shows up in the Rumble.
I would say so as well. She,
But this leads to a bigger thing, and we're getting a little off track. But what happens when Tiffany comes up? Such a good talent. Where does she fit in on that women's main roster? Like,
I think she fits perfectly. I think she has star power written all
oh,
over her.
100%.
She doesn't have maybe the name yet, but I see her in a similar level of a Jade Cargill. I see Tiffany Stratton just hitting the ground running and just being that like top star. I see her in big blockbuster feuds with Bianca Belair,
can
Becky
see it.
Lynch,
I can see it.
Rhea Ripley even.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, even just me saying that out loud right now, I see Tiffany Stratton versus Rhea Ripley as a very big match. Tiffany Stratton is...
You think that's a match?
I don't think that's the match, but I see that as a match.
I think the match for Tiffany is Tiffany versus Charlotte.
I could see that. And I think Tiffany has even gone on record to say Charlotte is like her like hero, her inspiration.
I think that's the match.
I could definitely see that as like the student versus teacher match, like kind of akin to like Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels,
See,
like that type of thing.
I see why Charlotte's the highest paid woman. Because I'm thinking about like, all right, what would be the match for these upcoming stars? For me, yes, Jade and Bianca is a huge match. But for whatever reason, Jade and Charlotte just feels like a little more.
It's a level higher. Because Charlotte's a level higher.
But Bianca's a star. Bianca's the girl right now.
She is.
She is the woman. She's ITGIRL. She is the it girl.
Yes.
She is, man. I'm just saying. She has her own fucking show right now.
She has her own show.
She's a fucking star.
She's like, I see some people call her John Cena. She's the girl John Cena. Like
I saw that today.
Yeah, the
I saw
kids,
it
the
today.
kids
The
love
kids
her.
love her.
Everybody loves her. She's on the cover of
2K24. She's
video games, posters, toys. Like she is like
the
one-
outreach program.
the outreach program. She's right there with Cody Rhodes.
What a
Promoting WWE's like outreach program.
Black
She
King right
is
there.
that girl when it comes to WWE, and she deserves it. She is that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes to big marquee matches, I get it. I can see why Charlotte just has like that name. Obviously, Flair is a really big name when it comes to wrestling, so that helps a lot. But she has earned that spot as being the, I guess, even like locker room leader.
Whew. Can we go on record and say we're gonna get Bianca versus Jade at Mania?
I don't know how it goes like that. You can say you can lock that in, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to say all that yet.
Somebody put the master lock on it.
I'll put a master lock
There we go.
animation.
Yeah. Lock it in.
But I don't know what I see for Bianca yet, but I don't know if I see that. We'll see how it goes.
Somebody said they should introduce a WrestleMania title.
I don't like that at all.
I don't like the idea. But then I started to sit with it, and it's like, you'll get a banger of a match. And this title's only defended once a year. You get a banger of a match. Like the Mr. and Mrs. WrestleMania.
To me, I would equate that to something like Money in the Bank. I wouldn't mind Money in the Bank being a WrestleMania thing, by the way, rather than
Like
on
bring it back?
pay-per-view. Yeah, but
I would like that.
I
Great
would see
matches.
it. I would see it as something like that.
I don't like that title idea now that I think about it again.
Because unfortunately, the whole the Battle Royals, nobody cares about them. They don't even happen at WrestleMania anymore. They happen on like Smack. I don't even think the women's one
man.
happens anymore. I think it's just the men's one, and it happens on SmackDown.
You know what? And I guess we'll get into it later on. I don't have an idea where we go with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits on the road to WrestleMania.
For all I know, they could keep doing this. They could drag this story out to WrestleMania. For all I know, or I don't know. Has Bobby Lashley ever won the Andre Battle Royal?
He won it last year.
Fuck, he did win it last year. I don't know what to do with Bobby.
So, it's time to talk about the men's Royal Rumble.
The main event.
The main event. Possibly.
Possible, man. Theoretical main event.
Yeah. So, who do you have winning?
I'm going to start with my final two rather than the final four because I think final four could go either way. Or even final three.
Okay.
I think the final three is going to be CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Dominic Mysterio.
Ooh, is that considered a hot take?
That may be a hot take. I think Dominic is going to be the one to eliminate Cody.
More fire, more flames. More fire, more flames.
And I think the final two are going to be CM Punk and Dominic Mysterio.
That would be fucking tremendous.
And my prediction to win is CM Punk, obviously. I think CM Punk is going to win, go on to face Seth Rollins, and live happily ever after at WrestleMania 40. Night one.
Night one. Who is going to be your Iron Man?
Cody. I predict Cody Rhodes is going to be the first entrant in this Royal Rumble. So I think he's going to be the Iron Man of this Rumble. And I think that's going to make it all the more heartbreaking and disappointing when someone like Dominic Mysterio throws him out. And it may, he may not be by himself. It may be like JD McDonough comes out. Damian Priest comes out and helps him or something like that. Who knows? Maybe Drew comes out and helps. What's it called? Dominic eliminate him. But I do think officially the elimination will go to Dominic Mysterio.
I had a similar thought.
Okay.
Up until a couple moments ago.
Okay.
My final three. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and Jey Uso.
Jey Uso. Okay.
I think my Iron Man is Jey Uso. I think WWE wants you to see that motherfucking entrance. All the crowd bouncing up and down. He enters number one. And I'm going to take your idea because it plays a little extra into the story.
I know where you're going with this.
Jey eliminates Cody Rhodes.
Didn't see that coming, actually. I didn't.
Jey eliminates Cody. Remember, Cody got Jey to Raw, but Jey wants this title because he wants another shot at Roman.
Yeet.
I'm just saying. It's a story that tells itself.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. And CM Punk goes on to win. After Cody is shocked that Jey turned on him in a sense. And Jay's excuse is that they're shooting for the same thing.
I like that answer. And just for the fuck of it, we can each say one dark horse pick.
One dark horse pick.
One dark horse pick.
Whew. My dark horse would be The Rock. It's The Rock. My dark horse would be The Rock for sure. Yeah, that's our producer's smiling. I don't like that. I love The Rock too, which is crazy. Like, I'm not a Rock hater, but there's just a story that needs to be finished. All right, and this book is going on for a long time.
Yeah. My dark horse pick, Gunther.
Fair.
Yeah, let's just say Gunther.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's a safe pick.
Yeah.
It's The Rock. Yeah. Yeah. So, definitely. I think that's where we're at. We talked about surprise entrants, but any more you can possibly think of. Now, I know Okada's contract ends the 31st, so I don't see him showing up. But I also can see something where maybe he pops up if that's the thing. Mm-hmm. We talked about the possibility of a certain devil showing up, but I don't think so. It would be cool if it happens, though.
And where are we? We're in Philly. No, it's WrestleMania for Philly.
We're in Tampa, I think.
Tampa.
I have one. Sorry.
Cool.
It's a return. A very welcome return. somebody who
This is
would
the
be
same
home.
person I was gonna say. Go ahead, say it.
I think a possible Big E return. I think we could.
I
Get
was
a
not thinking Big
possible
E. That
Big E return.
that would bring a tear to my eye.
I think it's in Tampa. He's from Tampa. Even if it's just a one-off, like
But hearing that y'all want to go big, then say that.
Come
No,
on, man.
I would
Like-
get up. I would get up and clap. for
what if
something
Kofi and Xavier's just in the ring and they're just fucking crying now?
That
Just
would be
bawling.
beautiful. You know what?
Like a big ass hug in the middle.
I
of the
hate
ring.
that you said that because now I want to
Now
see
you wanna
it.
see
Now I
it.
want to see it. Now I want to see it. Now I want to see it.
Oh man, that'd be great. I hope that happens. What are you gonna say though?
I was gonna say Shane McMahon.
Damn.
Probably
Last time we
won't.
saw him, what? He tore his
WrestleMania.
quads?
Yep, WrestleMania.
How long does the touring quad take to? Did he tear both of them? You're just like
I think-
your father.
I didn't think it was just one.
God. Damn
Oh.
it, Shane.
But yeah, I think that might be it.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know, guys, but that's been our Rumble predictions.
We're gonna try and go live watching the Rumble.
Yes, sir. We're gonna have some guests with us.
Yes.
So maybe we'll do some trivia.
Yeah.
Some wrestling Royal Rumble trivia. Like, what year did Ric Flair win the Rumble? Don't answer because I know you know. Yeah. And why the hell did Hulk Hogan say the Undertaker broke his neck? He did not even touch. He was
It
nowhere
wasn't
near
close.
that fucking chair. His neck was nowhere near the ground. Hulk Hogan is an avid liar.
I don't think that was Royal Rumble.
It wasn't, but Ric Flair played a part in that.
Yeah, that's what led to.
That's what led to
the Royal Rumble of the year. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this Rumble. This is honestly like the most exciting Rumble in some time. I feel like last year it was so obvious Cody was going to win, and you can say this year like it's obvious that CM Punk might win. But there's a lot of names in this Rumble that could really run away with it. We really don't know. Maybe The Rock will show up.
This road to WrestleMania seems like it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a
It's
fun
gonna
one.
be exciting.
I think it's gonna be a
And
really
I will
fun
be
year
up
for
at
WWE.
5 a.m. to watch the
Elimination
Elimination
Chamber.
Chamber. I just want to make that clear that I will be up at 5 a.m. And AEW Revolution is sold out in Greensboro, North Carolina.
It's a good time to be a wrestling fan.
It's a tremendous time. Oh! Man. Can I have one more sleeper pick?
Go ahead.
I saw somebody say goodbye to a certain company not too long ago.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no. Jacob Fatu might be on the he might be on the free agent pool. Throwing it out there. I think he has some history with Solo being his tag partner. And this is further booking. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Solo is going to be the reason Roman takes a very long hiatus.
Like, take him out?
Super hot take. Put me in hell. I want all the flames.
Okay.
Theoretically, like I don't really want to go to hell. Let's just make that one clear. Like, I want to go to heaven. I want wings and shit.
We only have like 10 viewers. I don't think God's listening to this podcast.
He might be. He might be. I mean, Vince McMahon had a match with him.
I was even God's a wrestling fan.
I think God's a wrestling fan. Wrestling's entertaining.
Yes.
You think God just like made some of these animals just for entertainment?
Most definitely. But we're getting very off topic. What was your hot take that you hypothetically wanted to go to hell for?
Solo's gonna take out Roman after
The new Legend Killer.
the new Legend Killer,
I like it.
and Solo's gonna start his version of the Bloodline. And Roman will reunite with the Usos.
He is the tribal heir.
That's the trouble. Yeah, that plays a role into this. That's further down the line. Guys, please subscribe. Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
Please like, share this video, all that good stuff.
Watch our reels.
It goes a long way, really. And we appreciate everyone who does watch us. This is a really fun podcast to do.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
And remember, like Mira, God did. This has been a podcast. Deuces. Ooses. Yeet.